them come. This is their fate.
All right, all right. Let me do my Birdman hands. Hold on. All right. Welcome back to the House of Wolves podcast. I am your host, Deontay, here with my dear friend Josh. Jalen couldn't be with us today. He's out of town, living his best life in Atlanta area somewhere. But we wanted to continue to keep the ball rolling, and we missed a week. So what we're going to do this time is we're going to put out one this week, and then we're going to put out one next week, preferably after the Xbox Bethesda showing, so that way we can have some fresh takes on what they showed. So without further ado, Josh, how has your week been? Update the people.
Yeah, my week's been pretty chill actually. Just been enjoying the start of summer. Starting to catch up on some games. I know we talked about you and I had got the Steam Deck and just trying to build up my library. And the Steam sale is coming soon, so I got a bunch of stuff I'm waiting for to drop prices.
Oh yeah,
But
yeah,
yeah,
yep.
otherwise just chilling out. Actually trying to figure out what I'm gonna play because I got too many games now, but trying to see where I want to start first.
Yep, kind of the same feeling, but it's always been like that. I just gotta sit down, focus on what I want to play, and then beat it. And then I go on like a tangent where I beat like 4 games in a row, and then I'm like, I'm done for a while. So I gotta figure out where I'm gonna start, and when I'm going to finally start down and like get to really playing them again.
Hmm.
But over I guess my weekend, like the long weekend, Memorial Day weekend, we kind of took a trip around Kalamazoo, went to Detroit with the kids, and man, oh man, right, I'm telling you, traveling with children is a
Hmm.
lot.
Yeah.
I needed a minivan. I was like, bro, I have way too much stuff, and I don't have enough room. But it was a lot of fun, at least, and we enjoyed ourselves. So I think the kids really liked it too. They seemed to enjoy meeting everyone and having a good time just in different settings. So
Hmm.
we want to do more of that stuff. But yeah, we need a minivan basically. So
Yeah.
yeah, but yeah, I
Double
took
car
my
seat.
Steam Deck, did not play it. I was kind of annoyed. I was like, dang. I tried to play a little something, something, but yeah, most of the time it was just taking up hanging out with the family and tending to the children. So uh, I tried though, but I still
Yeah.
keep it on me. I keep it on me so I can just in case I get that time. But yeah, I still like that I had the ability to like take a large library of my games with me. I still liked the function of that because that's what I kind of did. I was like, if I want to play Apex, if I want to play anything, I just got this little device. I don't need much else. My bag was pretty small and it was nice. So not able to execute, but at least it was there.
Hmm.
But yeah,
Yeah.
that's
I always got mine on me, but I feel you. It's hard to actually find the time to sit down because since you can play anything, like
yeah.
I can play Apex on it, but I need 20 uninterrupted minutes to play Apex. Uh,
Yeah.
and that's hard to do when you're not like sitting down somewhere. So
Yeah, so it might be more of, those smaller games. Like I really want to, finish Tunic. So I mean that's something as well. So it's those smaller ones that I could try to hop on, hop off, and not feel bad about stopping because it's not like an online thing. But yeah, that is a big thing too. It's kind of like you got these bigger games that you play with a lot of people. So yeah. Lots of fun though. Still, it's a good problem to have, I suppose. To not, you don't have the option to do anything outside of, play smaller games. Like, yeah, but I enjoy it. Hopefully, it puts some fire under Nintendo because I really like the Switch too, and maybe that's something that's coming down the line soon enough where they they have uh they have something better for us. But overall, happy. Um, but yeah, that's pretty much how I've been. I've been just doing all that type of stuff and trying to stick in some games every now and again. Um, but it was a lot of stuff that happened this week. It was
Hmm.
nice, you know. It was a good week in gaming. And simply put, it was just a lot of good things being shown off, and some stuff, that wasn't there, and some things. And what I'm referring to, if y'all are not aware, PlayStation had a state of play a couple of days ago, and they showed off some pretty decent games. So we kind of want to start there, and then we're going to move into some other topics. What we really want to talk about is that PlayStation state of play, Xbox and Bethesda, what they're going to anticipate them having, if they're even going to show any third party stuff at all, because they have a huge enough lineup, but it's 90 minutes. So, and then we're going to talk about a little bit about Diablo, and maybe talk about Multiversus at the end. But those are our topics. Might throw some extra stuff in there as usual, or might not get to it as usual because sometimes we just don't. But yeah, that's what we want to talk about. So first off, that state of play. I ain't had no expectations for it, to be honest. I was like, oh, no state of play. They not gonna show nothing good. It might be a
Yeah,
little bit of something, something, but most of it is not really gonna. It ain't gonna wow
most of
me or
them
anything
usually
like that.
be light
Yeah.
announcements, mostly third party focus or
Mm-hmm.
stuff like that.
And low key, Capcom really saved them. I ain't gonna hold you. I was like, Capcom coming through for y'all right now. And I ain't, they playing something steady. I was like, somebody need to make sure you check on Capcom because they really doing their thing over there at some points. In some points, but sometimes not really. But right now, oh yeah, they're a hot commodity. So they showed off a lot of games that I'm very interested in, and that I enjoyed, and I'm really looking to kind of get the deep dive into every last one of them that they kind of talked about. But here they are. Here is some highlights or some high level things that they kind of showed, just so that you guys can see what we're talking about. They showed off, and this is probably the biggest one to start with. Um, they started off Resident Evil 4 Remake, Street Fighter
Hmm.
6, Final Fantasy 16, Resident Evil Village having a VR implementation, Horizon Call of the Mountain, which is another VR implementation, which they kind of stated that this was going to be somewhat VR heavy. Didn't really feel like that, but they had a little bit of VR stuff and a lot of things that kind of looked at decent enough to be played in VR. The Walking Dead, Saints and Sinners, Chapter 2, that was a VR game. No Man's Sky in VR. They also had the game Stray, which is about the cat, cyberpunk area. I don't know. But he's a stray cat, and you play as the cat. Marvel Spider Man is coming to PC. Roller Dome, I don't know what that is. Callisto Protocol, which is, ooh baby, that's that Dead Space developers looking real nice, looking real special. And then they had Seasons, Lair to the Future, another indie game, Tunic, and then Eternites.
And
Um,
did you mention Street Fighter?
yes, Street Fighter
Oh, okay.
6. Yes, I did. Yes, I did. Um, so where we wanted to start, because I got some stuff about each one. Um, where we like to.
I guess we could start with the top with Resident Evil because I feel like I don't have much to say about that one yet.
Mm-hmm.
Um, other than like what they showed looks okay. They didn't actually show a lot, but the game is looking
Yeah.
more like Resident Evil 2 remake and 3. I feel like they have a lot to live up to because 4 is like a classic for a lot of people,
Oh
and
my
that's like the
God.
best rated or the best Resident Evil game to a lot of people. So I wonder how good it's gonna be because it's
Yeah.
actually not the first time they remade it. Like they've updated it, like the HD port, and then they had like the Oculus VR version that came out last year.
Mm-hmm.
So I wonder if it's obviously like the graphics gonna be new, but how different is it, or how close is it gonna be to the original? Because that's kind of been, I say all their remakes are good and they're worth
Mm-hmm.
playing, but like people have some mixed receptions on like three and stuff because it's like it's kind of too different from the original in not a good way. But
Gotcha.
Resident Evil 2 people loved because it was just like a really good remake that added a couple new things, but it still felt like the
Like
original.
Resident Evil 2. Yeah.
Yeah.
Um,
So yeah, it'd be interesting to see. Yeah, go ahead.
yeah, it was kind of the same thing. I felt like I was like, why they not showing some of these character models? And I ain't like that. I was like, I was like, where the stranger at, man? What are you buying? They could have started at least throw
Yeah.
him in there somewhere. I was like, y'all messing up these characters or something? But they ain't really try to show much outside of well, they showed Leon, I guess, but I don't know, dude. I was happy about it because I was like, dude, I really want to play Resident Evil 4 and I want to play it again. I mean, I played it like 4 times already, but I would like to, I guess, play it with that updated version. Kind of really get to
Mhm.
see and feel how they really truly wanted this world to look. Because when they did that with Resident Evil 2, it was nice, and
Mhm.
I can only assume that Resident Evil 4 is gonna make the world really come to life and you're gonna really see what they were trying to portray back then with no hardware restrictions. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
um, I really want to
The
see that. So I'm happy. I'm super happy about it. But I got some. I'm gonna hold off on going too deep dive in that Capcom gonna knock it out the park because they did fail unfortunately with Resident Evil 3. I'm not saying that that was even a popular game in the first instance anyway. So maybe people just were like, I don't know, maybe only the hardcore fans truly played it. I never played
mhm.
Resident Evil 3 Nemesis or like the original. I didn't play the remake yet or the and I was planning on playing it because it's on one of my list of games because I bought it and I still have it but because it finally got to $15, like I said, I was like, I'll buy it now. It's $15. But yeah, um, I'm just kind of curious to see more about the gameplay and really look at the character models because they everybody played the game before. It's not like why are you hiding character models? Everybody's played it. So
Yeah.
if you're nervous about what you've done to people, then just say that because everyone has beaten Resident Evil 4. I'm pretty sure anybody that's excited about it has beaten that game already, and it's not
Mhm.
gonna give away nothing. So
Yeah.
just show why you ain't showing the character models. That's what made
Yeah,
me
it was
nervous.
a little weird to be like that reserved in the trailer. Like they should have been like, "This is Resident Evil 4. Look at
Hmm.
all the work we did, and like we know y'all excited." But it seems like they're not sure how people will react to it, so they
So
just
they're
wanted
trying to
to.
be reserving
Yeah.
like some of the key elements. Like we want you to still be anticipating it. We want to show that it's like in production and the world is being built around it. But the key things that make say that you naysayers might be like, oh my god, this is trash. We gonna hold off on showing. So
Yeah.
I
The only thing
understand
I
that
actually
too.
feel like they could mess up is like I feel like the game is pretty straightforward. It's like the combat is good and stuff like
Mm-hmm.
that. But Resident Evil 4 was also kind of weird and goofy, and I don't know if they're gonna like keep that, if it's just gonna be like
Oh
more serious. Cause like you said, the shopkeep, he was kind of weird, and
yeah.
but people like him for that. And the knife fight with people kicking knives out the
Mm.
air at each other and stuff. I don't know how if they wanted to like be that goofy or like I don't know if they were trying to be serious in the original and end up being
Mm-hmm.
goofy or they it was goofy or campy in the beginning and like that's what they wanted, you know. But we'll see.
Yeah, I don't think they'll deviate that far from it. To be honest, I think they still will find that line because people truly understand that what that game was, and they loved it for what it was. So all they really need to do, they don't need to change a thing outside of like graphically just upgrade it, maybe to do some quality of life changes, but that's it. Don't touch none of the original mechanics, gameplay, storyline, or like cutscenes. Like all that stuff should just be remade in a more cinematic way, but it shouldn't be like changed or transformed into something else to make it seem as if it's better, because that's what they tried to do with 6 5 too, but it wasn't perceived as well as they wanted it to be.
Hmm.
So I think keeping it to where it was and how it was positioned correctly, or like how it was presented in Resident Evil 4, would probably be the best. I mean, I still enjoy it, and I don't know if I'm going to like hate on it if they change stuff, because I'm not the type of person. I'd be like, if y'all wanted to change something, fine, but don't call it Resident Evil 4. Call it something
Hmm.
else. That's like, you can call it something else at that point, because it's not Resident Evil 4 anymore. So
Yeah.
hopefully they stay true to that, because that's when, if they want to explore and change things, they need to call it something else. But
Yeah.
we'll see. I have faith because Resident Evil 2 was good, and all they need to do is just ship the game with nicer graphics, and it'll
I
be a
will
winner.
say I'm surprised how quickly like these three have come out.
I'm not,
Um,
because I'm not, because their engine is probably very, very, very much so
well, yeah, it seems
robust.
like they can like make
Yeah.
the high quality assets pretty quickly, which is
Yes.
good. But yeah, they all came out within probably like 5 years.
Yeah. Well,
And
what has Capcom been doing lately? Like, really?
I mean, other than like, yeah, they haven't dropped their Street Fighter in a while, and Monster Hunter is like their only other like real franchise. So
Yeah.
yeah, um,
I would expect them to kind of still keep that stride, because they don't really put nothing else out, and they have good IPs. They just don't play use them anymore, or
mhm,
maybe they too locked up in you know licensing and rights and all that stuff. I don't know. Whatever the case may be, Capcom has made great games before, and I expect them to continue at some point.
mhm.
So this is their start again. They already made Village. They put out the other ones. We probably not gonna get a successor to Village for a little bit, but overall, yeah, they trying to keep in stride. That's what I was thinking when I was seeing it. But yeah, um, plus you can run through most of these Resident Evil games pretty quickly, especially
Mhm.
Village, if you wanted to. So it's not like they build big, but it's like when you really first time going through them, maybe 20, 15 hours. After that, 4 hours, 5 hours. Not
Yeah.
even. I'll be speed running these games most of the time, but um, it'd be fun though. So uh, Horizon. Oh. I guess what's next? Let's look. Let's go to Final Fantasy 16, then come back to Street
Mhm.
Fighter. Final Fantasy 16, man, that thing look like it's gonna be something special. I'm not a Square Enix boy, but I was
Yeah.
like, man, these big battle scenes, the all that stuff, like they're really really cool. I never seen a Final Fantasy. I think this is the first one in like the medieval times. Um, and
Mhm.
it just seemed very interesting, and it was like, it didn't seem like it was running choppy. I was like, bro, y'all got some really big stuff happening here. And 15 kind of tried it, but yeah, that frame rate and the power wasn't there. So I feel
Yeah.
like this one is going to have those big cinematic moments, uh, and it's gonna run well. Hopefully, I think they kind of got it down packed at this point. Did they switch to a different engine, or is they still on the Final Fantasy 15,
Um,
15
this
engine?
engine I don't know about. I don't think it's Luminous, which was their 15 engine, because like
Mm-hmm.
most of their teams just didn't like want to work with it anymore.
Gotcha.
Uh, which is good because it's not really worth it in my opinion.
Yeah.
Kind of like Frostbite, like it looks good, but whatever hoops they gotta jump through to make get this stuff in the game. It's not worth it. Um, and I don't know if it's Unreal, but whatever they're using, it looks pretty well. Like you said, graphically and gameplay wise, it looks like it runs well. I like I mentioned before, I how to put it, like obviously me and Jalen like Square Enix and we like Final Fantasy games, but
Mhm.
I'm also like really hesitant to a lot of their new stuff because for many reasons it just is not done.
Mhm.
Like I really was not happy with 15 and how that game shaped out
Oh
with, and
yeah.
so anything else they come out with, I'm gonna be like looking at it with more scrutiny than normal. But the trailer looks pretty good, and knowing that the team working on it is the same team that does a lot of the best stuff in 14, which I really like. I'm looking forward to it. Like obviously they could still drop the ball, so I gotta wait and see, and it's still like a year
Mhm.
away. But yeah, the it seemed like their focus is the summons and the giant battles, and it seems like if as long as they can make the story around that compelling and actually finished, then it'll be I feel like a good game.
Yeah. Music was hitting what it was supposed to do. Um, yeah, I was just like, God dang, bro, this is they come out the gate swinging like that. I feel like it's just gonna be lights for all the rest of the little RPGs out there. Y'all ain't got it. Y'all ain't like this. That try look cool. I ain't gonna hold you, but I gotta
Yeah.
keep it reserved, bro. I got to keep it reserved because
Yeah, I want to see more about the everything really, because
Mm-hmm.
like I was saying to Jalen, it looks good, but also it's kind of like I don't like when they show it a year away from when it actually comes out.
Yeah.
So I want to see more of the combat, because it looks flashy, but like
Yeah.
I want to. 15 was kind of too flashy for me and didn't have enough, I would say, substance to the
Mm.
combat. So I'm hoping that it's not like that. That there's more depth to it, like whether it's like classes or you got like a party and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
But and also more about the story and the world. I don't want it to be open world, but
Okay.
we'll see. You know,
Yeah.
like it can have big areas, but I don't want it to be like an open world game like 15 because it was really no point to having it be open world.
Gotcha. Gotcha. Yeah, that's true. I mean, it didn't really pull the magic in like it was supposed to about like living in a Final Fantasy open world game, like being open world and like feeling as if you're in that type of area or like stuff happening and most of the time you're just out there fighting wildebeest. So I don't know, but this right here, yeah, this trailer cut, whoever did it, it was phenomenal. It was a lot of over the top magic that was happening, but it got me pumped for it. And I'm not, like I said, I don't care for Final Fantasy, but I was like, this game just looks solid. If you don't put the Final Fantasy name on it, it looks
Mhm.
solid. So, yeah, it
And it's I we don't I guess normally. Oh, we mentioned it earlier with like the Xbox thing, but it's exclusive.
yeah,
I don't know if it's completely or timed, but it is a PlayStation exclusive,
yeah,
and which is good. PlayStation always has like those titles. They have that clout where they can get Final Fantasy exclusive, where Xbox can't do that. And
hmm,
if it comes out, that's a win for them.
yeah,
It might be the game that gets me to actually get a PS5
5,
because I don't
yeah,
have one right now. Because most of the stuff, honestly, we'll talk about later. I'm waiting for it to possibly drop on PC.
yeah,
Um, and otherwise, I don't have a reason to get a PS5 right now until like my PS4 just like dies.
right,
Um, then this could be the game for me, but wait and see.
yeah, 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 agreed. I think it's still not. It's everybody going off the thing talking about the game perfect and all that. Like, bro, y'all ain't seen the game, so
Yeah.
it's just y'all need to chill out simmer those expectations. It looks great, and I think it's gonna really have a lot of interesting parts to it. I just hope that story and combat align. It was giving me Tale of Arise vibes, but at the same time, I like the death in Tales of Arise to some degree. I
Yeah.
don't like how the party situation is handled. Like you have to really be in control of them to really give like a good, like be really like really have a tuned effort for what you want those characters to do. It kind of
Hmm.
didn't I didn't like that, so maybe it's a better system in that way, but it's very much so flashy and like Final Fantasy
Yeah.
7 remake. So I like that combat too. So
Yeah. 7 was good. If the party system is like that, where you can control the other people,
yeah,
but you don't have to, is good.
yeah,
Um, and I don't know what they're gonna do with the story, but the good stuff about Heavensward from 14 that they made is that they kind of took a more serious, like Game of Thrones ish approach,
approach.
where
Okay,
the heroes are like not, how to put it, like typical anime heroes where they just talk about friendship and stuff. It's more like, oh well, yeah, the heroes getting killed and separated and really knocked down, and it feels like the story is going somewhere. Then that's
gotcha.
worth it.
Okay, well, yeah, that's what I'm looking forward to. I'm looking forward to it. So it launches in summer of 2023. I don't believe it'll come out then, but we'll see. It probably be another fall release. But moving on, we're gonna be talking about that Street Fighter Six. Oh my god, uh, Street Fighter Six, man. That mug currently got more views than that Final Fantasy. We got some Street Fighter fans out there. But yeah, Street Fighter, man. That's like I don't know. Ever since 4 came out on the Xbox 360, um, that's when I got into Street Fighter. Like, I'm sorry, I'm not that old or not as old to be wanting to play the Street Fighter 3, Street Fighter 2. I just didn't play them, so I ain't gonna cap. But I really enjoy Street Fighter 4, and I've ever since then I've enjoyed the combat and the movement and like how they kind of do their combos in Street Fighter since then. Um, this one, I mean, everybody look buffer. I like that they're kind of putting a emphasis on the street in Street Fighter, um, and they're really trying to showcase that. I don't understand this open world aspect of it,
Yeah.
but I think that's what their hub is, where they're trying to create like a, I don't know, you call it a 2K city, in an NBA
Oh, yeah, it
2K.
looked like
That's
2K.
what it looked like, bro. I was like, bro, this don't look the greatest. I might try to avoid that at all possible, if at all possible. Try to really avoid it. But my man's Ryu got shoes now. He looking good. He got his I don't know. It just seemed like they had a direction they wanted to go for art design, and they ran with it, which is fine.
Mhm.
But yeah, right. Ryu and everyone. I don't know. They had like Jamie, Luke, Chun Li, Ryu. I don't remember. I'm assuming Jamie and Lee. If they are characters that were in the past, let me know. But
Well, Luke was like the last DLC character for 5.
oh,
Yeah,
okay.
Jamie is like brand new for
Gotcha.
6.
Gotcha. Gotcha.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Okay. Well, yeah. It looks cool. It looks very much so combo Esta. Stuff I really loved about Street Fighter. It got all of that. At least the movement, the combos, the breakers. Like, it looks really, really good. It looks like it's gonna be a lot of fun to play. They have some over the top finishers. This man grabbed his man's Adam Apple. I don't know what he was gonna do, but it didn't look like it was gonna feel good. But he yeah, I just think they updated the sign because it was like a really stupid Street Fighter and then had a little small six.
Little
They
logo, yeah.
upgrade. I don't understand why they thought that was cute, but yeah, they upgraded the symbol. It looks good. Um, and hopefully, and this one also is supposed to be coming 2023. When it just says that like that, I don't trust it, but we'll see. It's Street Fighter. When was the last one that came out? Last one that came out, Street Fighter Five. I'm not sure if Street Fighter is exclusive to PS5 again, but
Um, they didn't. I don't think they said anything, but it shouldn't be. At least it always comes to PC, but
mhm.
normally it's on Xbox and PlayStation. But we'll see.
Yeah. So yeah, like, Street Fighter. Yeah, that came out in 2016, so it's been a while, people. It's been
Yeah,
quite a while. So um,
I'll
exclusive.
say
I'm
it
trying to see
looks.
if it's a Sony exclusive. Uh, and more is becoming known. Blah 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 blah. Traditionally speaking, blah 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 blah. Not every version they change. Well, oh, it's not. Okay. All right. So it's not exclusive. That's great because I think that
Okay,
hurt. I think
yeah,
that really hurt it, to be honest. From being like a much more a stronger showing game and
yeah. It
just and
definitely,
like
especially now, like the days of crossplay and stuff. Like
yeah,
some games don't need that exclusivity. Like it won't help them in the long run.
yeah.
Especially like fighting games. So
Especially when
it's
trying to
good that
keep the
it's not.
pool of people that wants to
Yeah,
engage it bigger. So yeah, I'm glad that that's not exclusive. And
I'll say that it looks for me it looks okay. Like I played some of the older Street Fighter games, but like I really like 4. And I played that a lot. And
mhm.
when 5 came out, it didn't really launch well. Like it had a lot of issues.
No, it didn't.
And so people overall were pretty lukewarm on 5, even though it probably got a lot better over time.
It did.
And so this is their fresh start. Art wise, I don't personally like the more realistic style. Like I think
Mm-mm.
I liked 4 and even 5 still had like its cartoonish look to it, even though it was
Mhm.
more realistic. Now they're leaning more on like the hyper realistic. It doesn't look bad. It's not my personal taste for Street Fighter.
Yeah.
Um, but it looks good. The open world stuff, I'm not too sure about because I feel like fighting games need more content than just like the online fighting. But
Mhm.
I don't know if this is gonna be
That
any good.
content.
Yeah,
I
because
like. Yeah, I was like, I don't know
fighting
what
games
this
always put
is.
in like a adventure mode. Like Tekken always got like a beat 'em up mode, but it's never
Yeah.
good. It's kind of like a waste of time.
Yeah.
And this, at best, I feel like will be a waste of time.
Mhm.
Hey, it looks big, and they might have put a lot of resources into it, but hopefully it. I don't know. I might just like you said, rather just ignore that and just play with like your main crew online.
Yeah,
Um,
I think the best one that has done it, uh, and it hasn't really done it. I mean, they just ignored it. They just made the gameplay simpler. It was Fighter Z. They allowed
yeah,
people that was like fans of Dragon Ball to just join and play and like be okay at it. So it caused a lot of people to be like, okay, this is a really good fighter game I can get into and try to, actually get some more sound combos down. And then it blew up from there. But
mhm,
they didn't try to feed that oh, you need a story mode, you need it to be long, and we need people to want to engage it. They kind of went a different route. So I hope that Street Fighter name can pull in enough of a audience, but then also adding to that Street Fighter name, just having more. I wouldn't want to call it simplify mechanics, but allowing beginners to not feel like crap. But I don't really that's gonna be really hard. So I think it might just
yeah.
be.
I didn't watch the whole breakdown videos, but they're simplifying the combo system for
Hmm.
people who want that. So they really want it to be accessible for a lot of people.
Yeah.
Hopefully it's good. The only thing that I was like actually worried about is the since they're building all this extra 3D and like lobby stuff,
Yeah.
I don't want it to be like Dragon Ball Z because I love fighters. Well, like the
Hmm.
big one of the biggest issues is like their online lobby system
Oh
where
my
you gotta
god.
like
Yeah, that's stupid.
join the server and find your friends and
Run
stand in the
around.
circle
Yeah.
and stuff like that. It's like all that stuff is not necessary. Like I know people want to see their character and
Yeah.
hang out, but that dilutes the like matchmaking and online experience. So
Yeah.
hopefully all this extra 3D stuff they're building is not going to interrupt that. Otherwise, it kind of will probably push casual people away.
Yeah, I just don't understand the showing it off now. It kind of feels like it's going to be intertwined with a lot of the systems, and that's going to cause a problem for me.
Hmm.
Um, they never had the greatest online experience, to be honest, but at least it was, manageable. Especially in five, it was definitely not a good experience overall, but they tried. At least that's what you
Hmm.
can give them that. But yeah, hopefully it's not as bad. I just don't want it to be very much so like a something you don't want to engage with. I don't want to run around punching boxes. I don't know what they're collecting, but that was what they showed off in the trailer. And I was like, what? Why is he punching a box? Why is he? I don't get it. I don't get it. But
Like even though I liked Mortal Kombat 11, I didn't finish the crypt because like it's okay, but
mm-hmm.
a lot of that stuff is just like filler content, and I don't really care about collecting, you know, JPEG.
Yeah, nah, man, nah, not happening. It's cool for people that want to kind of indulge in that and have some extra stuff to do. Like Mortal Kombat has always been the game that gave you more bang for your buck when it comes to the overall story, and it really started in Mortal Kombat 9 and forward, because at first, they wouldn't really give you much. I mean, they had storylines and things like that, but I think Mortal Kombat 9 was the first one that kind of truly wanted to kind of give you like a bigger experience. And then Injustice came along, which is another one of those NetherRealms games, and they wanted to give you a bigger story and really give you a combo system. And then like they're online, where you can upgrade your weapon, like upgrade your character and stuff like that. So they had a lot of depth to their games, and their fighters, like really truly. And then Injustice, too. And so they always had that title of, okay, if I'm gonna buy a fighting game, I'm gonna buy this one because at least I know I'm gonna get a lot out of it, especially if they got like a 4 to 6 hour story mode, which they usually do, where you
Yeah.
go through each character, get introduced to their mechanics, and you get a storyline. So I don't think Street Fighter should just copy that. I just think that they should really truly think about the other experience, introducing everyone to each character in like that startup, you know, because people don't, when they engage in fighting games, they usually engage with it where they're not really by themselves, they're with people and they're just fighting, and they're not really understanding the mechanics or truly getting to know the game, because it's no point for them. So I think they have to solve for that issue, because fighter games generally don't sell well, and that causes the pool to kind of dilute, and it's not really a lot of people engaging with it.
Hmm.
So I really want people to really engage with Street Fighter 6. I want them to engage with pretty much all fighter games coming out. Like, I wanted to play Guilty Gear Strive, but I just knew it was just another fighter, and I was like, I'm gonna play it for like play it for like 10, 12 hours, and I'm probably not gonna beat it unless something else kind of catches my eye, and
Hmm.
so I stopped myself. But yeah, I don't want that to happen to Street Fighter. It's too much of a big name. I'm pretty sure
Yeah.
Guilty Gear had his hardcore fans, but I would like Street Fighter to have that,
The
overall
other thing
success.
is, I don't know if they talk about like the online service or whatever monetization for Street Fighter, but
Mm-hmm.
like you mentioned, like Guilty Gear looked good and it looked like the best fighting game that came out. However, it's a $60 game
Mm-hmm.
plus $30-$40 season pass, and they're gonna come out with another season pass in a year and a half, and it's like it's a large investment. And so like if you don't get in the beginning, well,
Yeah.
if you get in at the beginning, you spend a lot of money. And then two, if you wait 5 years, it's gonna be cheaper, but you've missed 5 years of playing it, so everybody fighting is super good. I
Yep.
don't know if they have any plans for Street Fighter for like you buy it, but the characters are free or whatever they're planning to do. But that's something that they are, of course, going to have to overcome if they want new players to continuously like hop in.
Yeah. Yeah, that's also true. I do feel like if I set the game down for a little bit and try to jump back into it, it's not the same because a lot of stuff has changed. They've done updates, they did balancing changes, and they probably introduced a few other characters that might be able to counter certain things that I wasn't aware of when I first started playing. So it is a learning curve, and it also is very daunting at times when you're kind of jumping back into a fighter. But if you really enjoy it, and that's what I was saying, you have to have like a pool of new players continuously playing so that it feels fresh and like not so sweaty because
Hmm.
boy do those games get sweaty. So yeah, we'll see. I looking forward to it still, even though they are doing a very weird system of running around. I really don't get it, but it's cool. We can talk about all the VR stuff all together. Resident Evil Village, Horizon Call of the Mountain, Walking Dead, No Man's Sky. Those are all the VR games that kind of were showed off. I'm trying to
Hmm.
remember if there was more. I think that was it. Um,
Yeah.
I'm looking at a list. I'm trying to see if there was anything else that I missed, but
Yeah, both Resident Evil games, Horizon, No Man's
yeah.
Sky, Walking Dead. Yeah, I think those are it.
Okay. So let's start with the most impressive. One for me that was most impressive was obviously Horizon Call of the Mountain.
Hmm.
It just looked at the most polished, and it also looked like the most interesting adventure. So yeah, I mean, I would have to give it to Horizon. What would be your most impressive about the VR?
Yeah, I think it's Horizon because it seems to be a specifically built for VR. I don't
Yeah,
know how long the game or adventure is, but it's always good when they build something specifically for it because they can utilize the most of it. The other stuff in like Resident Evil and everything might be cool to play through the whole game and might make it more scary, but yeah, I feel like it doesn't need VR. It just benefits from it. Whereas like Horizon game might need VR, so it could have something unique that you can't get from like the original, you know, game.
yeah. I think I think I don't want to say VR isn't because it is relevant. Um, I don't know. I just think that they need to show off the VR2 device along with the price if they want people
Yeah,
to get hyped for anything VR related. They haven't done that. So um I can't get hyped for anything. I don't know if I'm going to buy one. I don't know if it's going to be interesting. I know it's still going to be wired. That really sucks, but if this
yeah,
stuff is going to be coming to Oculus, most of the other stuff, I would rather buy Oculus to be honest because it's like a single standalone system that I could take anywhere. It's more robust. It's more user friendly. I don't want to see how this VR2 is really set up. If I have a wire coming through my PlayStation, I
mhm.
don't really trust that I'm going to like not tear something up. So we'll see
Yeah,
on
and
that part.
it's at this point I feel like it's proven that uh Facebook or Meta, whoever, are committed to Oculus.
Oh yes, very much so.
Whereas Sony, I feel like they have a couple investments in it, but it's not really clear that they're really invested in like making this a platform for people to like keep dropping stuff other than just having a couple cool things that drop every couple months or so, you know.
Yeah,
Um like you said, the price and the overall package of the second VR, like they've announced it, but they haven't really fully gone into it. And I feel like that's not good if you really want. everybody to like pick up this device. I feel like they know it's going to be niche, and
Hmm.
it, I don't know, it might not be cost friendly and like, yeah, but the content that they're making for Horizon looks good at least. So
Yeah, and that's probably their saving grace right now is that it looks good and looks fun to play. I just don't know how much of a selling point it's going to be when you're showcasing things like that when you don't have like the actual device or the cost to even be announced yet. Um, so I'm gonna keep that reserved for now. I don't have any real high hopes of me buying a VR2 system for my PlayStation, but you never know. They could wow me with something where I feel like, oh, this I gotta use this one. They can do an upgrade that's gonna blow my mind away. And it's gonna be something that's way better than the Oculus. But for right now, paying I think $299, I believe. I think it's $299 for the Oculus Quest 2. You're getting a very much so, reliable, dependable, strong, and capable machine. And
that
it's
also
all
works on your PC.
yeah, that also works on your PC, so you can pull that stuff too. So it's just much. It's right now. It's like that. They have to really hit a lot of check a lot of boxes right now, and I'm
Hmm.
kind of nervous for that because they're not talking about it, which makes sense, man. You got
Hmm.
Oculus out here killing the game right now. Like every little kid wants one, and they just enjoy it much better. It's much easier to kind of get into. So we'll see. You gotta first get the PS5, then you gotta get the VR. Like, come on, bro.
You
I
ain't gonna be
gotta
able to
set it
find
up.
them.
Yeah, man. It's just really tough sale right now, and they know that probably, and that's probably why they ain't said nothing. They like, shoot, man, this might be dead in the water, cat. We might as well go ahead and cancel these, or make them exclusive to the Oculus, and really earn some money. You can earn some quick. You want some quick cash? Put that call on the mountain on the Oculus. I bet you, but they gotta have to run it off something so that PlayStation 5 is needed.
Hmm.
It's just so. They can put it on PC though, I guess. Um, so next thing was like Walking Dead, Saints of Sinners. Obviously, I'm kind of sick of zombie games in VR. It's not impressive anymore. So
Yeah.
no, thank you. No Man's Sky though. I said, man, y'all gonna have you having a whole No Man's Sky in there? You gonna play the whole thing? I was like, first off, congratulations to No Man's Sky for actually building a game that's worth something now. So I want to congrats them on that because at first I was like, nah, I'm better not playing this game. It's trash. But I'm pretty sure right now that game is probably one of the more interesting, I guess, galactical space games out there right now.
Yeah.
Uh,
They've been consistent for what, 5 years? Just like,
5 years.
here's
Let's
a
see.
big update,
Hmm.
usually for free or pretty affordable, and always adding new stuff.
And I think No Man's Sky came out because they weren't doing nothing for like I say like 2 years. Original No Man's Sky came out in 2016,
Mhm.
so I think the first like year and two they didn't do much, or maybe they were and I wasn't paying attention.
I
But
think they did patches, but like not
not
much new
something like
content.
huge,
Yeah.
yeah, until like 2019 ish, and they really started to get on their grind and put out some really good stuff. So, but yeah, No Man's Sky has been hitting out the park for the last 5 years or so, and it's well, not last five, but you know what I mean. They've been doing a really good job at it, and I think having that VR experience might be interesting. Um, it seemed cool what they were showing, battling all the stuff, landing on the planets, going out to you mine things, and overall, I'm not walking around there, so they better have a move button. But
Mhm.
it seemed cool enough though. So
Yeah. Then I think that game fits it perfectly, because those type of games where you kind of like do simple stuff for a long
Mm-hmm.
time are good for VR.
Yeah.
And since the game is just huge, it's worth whatever investment you got to put into it.
Mm-hmm.
Because you have a fully complete game that's VR ready. So that's good. Yeah.
I wonder if you can pick off where you left off on your game. I don't know if it's gonna be that good. I think it might be just the original No Man's Sky build, but that'd be stupid. So, I wonder if you can like pick up and continue to play where you were in your original non VR game. That'd
Mhm.
be cool too. Just to
Yeah.
kind of have that
I don't know. I
transfer.
think it might just be a mode where you just keep going, but that'd be something to look into.
Yeah. Then we had some PC stuff. Yeah, Marvel, Spider Man, which we already knew they were going to start bringing those more of those exclusives over. Josh ain't still ain't played none of that stuff. So I mean, here's
Well,
your
I
chance,
played
I
3
suppose.
hours of Spider-Man,
And this guy here is hilarious.
beat up a couple bad guys on the police radio, and
uh,
did a couple races, and like, yep, this is Spider-Man.
Coming to PC ain't gonna change Josh's mind, but overall, it's a good thing because then now it's giving people freedom to not care to buy the PlayStation 5 or PlayStation 4, at least right now, and go play some of their exclusives on the PC. They have Horizon, they have, well, Horizon, the first original. Um, and then you got God of War, which is a really good game. Now you got Spider Man, Days Gone was on there. You got a few games on there that's pretty good. That was PC. That was Sony exclusive. So it started to build that library for you. So I like it. I still want to see more games, obviously, and probably sooner. To really,
Yeah,
you know,
it
go ahead.
oh no, I'm happy that they're coming out, but like you said, I'm hoping that they come out faster.
Mm-hmm.
Because like I know they don't want to like give people like a reason to not buy the PS5, but their PC ports seem to be pretty good. People like their games, and if you
Mm-hmm.
hadn't played Spider-Man before, like this will be the best version because it's gonna include everything that they've updated on like the PS5 version. I'm personally still waiting on stuff like Returnal, and it
Mm-hmm.
seems like they're still working on their PS4 library. Like
Yeah.
Uncharted, Spider-Man 1, God of War, Horizon 1. Hopefully they can get to their PS5 games sooner as well. People I think are gonna buy them, and the hardcore fans would still buy them on both. So I think it's worth it.
Yeah, it's up to them. I think they don't want to lose that exclusivity when it comes to a lot of their games just yet. They really want to have a full. They're gonna put They're gonna put games on the PC. They're just gonna be old games. I want their lineup to at least not go from 6 years or 5 years to two. Like I
Yeah.
would like to see that at least. Like not just have it where you gotta wait 5 years before you can play that game on this. So that's probably the biggest unfortunate about it. That's the most unfortunate part about the bringing games to PC from PlayStation, but at least you are getting them. At the very least, you don't. It's for at least game preservation. Like PlayStation 4 suck when it comes to like those machines is not great. So having your PC library and having those games come to PC kind of solidifies that they're going to kind of be there for a very long time. You know,
Hmm.
you're going to have them. So, um, yeah, that's what I like about it. I'm looking at it from that standpoint, and I enjoyed Marvel Spider Man, and I think that was the remastered version that they're bringing over. So that's good too. So that was the one that it's technically one of the ones that recently came out with the Sony, but really it's not. But at least that remastered version, that was one that came out in 2020.
Hmm.
So I mean, technically it's 2 years, but you if you know, you know. Um, They've been getting down on the PlayStation fans for a very long time. Stray. Stray, honestly, I'm not anticipating much about Stray. I don't really want to be a cat. I don't know if it's going to be one of those highly introspective games like Inside or Limbo, where it kind of gives you like more. It's more about the journey than the actual cat and like stuff like that. You really exploring a strange city. Um, that's fine. I think those types of games are needed for sure. I just don't want you to charge me $70 for it. So we'll see how
Hmm.
much it costs. Hopefully it's not that expensive, but
Yeah.
we'll see. Any
No,
thoughts
same
on
thing.
Stray?
I don't have much on it. Just because like I don't think it's gonna be bad, but it's one of those games where their its popularity is based on like its look and like its uniqueness because you are a cat, but it's not necessarily on the game itself. Like the gameplay or the story or what's going on in the world. So it might be like a cool experience, but I don't know if it's gonna have like enough for me to actually play through it and complete it. Uh, so I gotta wait and see.
Mm, yeah, it's yeah, yeah. We just have to wait and see. I don't want to. I don't want to. I don't want to. Say disregard it either because I think it might be a really good game. So we'll just wait and see if how much it costs, because a cost proposition really comes into play when it comes to these type of smaller games. If it's $40, I'm okay with that. Like Kinu, Bridge of Spirits, it was a really good game for the price that I paid, and it wasn't bad at all. And I think if Stray hits that mark and kind of it's not a large AAA game, but
Hmm.
hopefully it's worth that, and it feels as if you're getting more value than what you pay. If you're getting more value than what you pay, that's understandable, but you never want to feel like you're paying more for less. So
Hmm.
we'll see. That's probably one of their key things they need to worry about is just getting the pricing right if they really want that to sell well. And it's one of those games that they announced that's going to be coming directly to PlayStation Extra, the
Hmm.
subscription. So you
Hmm.
kind of like Game Pass and their games exclusively coming straight to Game Pass. This is their first one that's going to be going to directly to that for free that you can't get with the regular subscription. So
Hmm.
um, I don't know much about Extra. Honestly, I thought it was. I didn't know that was an Extra was a tier. I thought it was premium. Maybe I'm listening, remembering it wrong, but I'm pretty sure that's what they said. Um, so I need to do a little bit more research on Stray and kind of get to the. Yeah, it's gonna be a part of the PlayStation Plus Extra and Premium. Yeah, okay, yeah. So it's gonna be on the Premium and the Extra. So
Hmm.
that's okay, I suppose. Um, yeah, hopefully that's more adding more value to those subscriptions is always great. So maybe if they throw in like 4 or 5 of those types of games and I can still have access to them if I don't buy now, that's gonna be scary. Like, oh, you didn't claim it when we had it the first time, so now you can't. You can't just be playing plus extra now and try to think you're gonna play it, bro. That ain't how this works. So we'll see how that whole thing plans out, but hopefully it's a little bit more consumer friendly.
Yeah.
Roller Dome is by the Ali World creators.
Hmm.
Yeah, Roller Dome. I don't really have much to say on it, honestly. I didn't think it needed
Yeah.
this. I think indies are important, and I think with that game looked scratchy and it looked like the mechanics wasn't hitting for what it was supposed to, and bullets were literally like um auto aiming to the robots, knowing darn well the trajectory should not hit them. They were
Hmm.
doing that, and I was like, man, these animations are scratchy, but might be fun, I guess. Roller Dome,
Hmm.
that is the game. Uh, Not too impressed. You got any thoughts on Roller Dome?
Nah.
Nah, okay, good. Let's move on. All right, so Callisto's Protocol. Whoo, baby.
Yeah.
So I was looking at this and I said, "Oh yeah, this is giving me real Dead Space vibes." Obviously, it's the game that the creators of, I believe it was this is the company that was created after Dead Space, if I'm not mistaken, from the
Yeah, they
creators. Yeah.
because after Dead Space 3, EA closed them, and
Hmm.
then people they went all the other places, but the I don't know who exactly was, but like the people that used to be in the head of their old studio made a new studio, and they started working on Callisto Protocol.
Yeah, man. This looks really good. I was looking at them animations, trying to make sure. I said, man, y'all better get these animations right. And it looked it good. It looked it real
Yeah,
good. It looked it like they really took their time with it. The scenery looked it nice. The jump scares looked it on point. The sound. Um, yeah, man. I was like, jeez, look, Jesus, they gonna really make me not care about the Dead Space remake. If this gonna
yeah,
be real good,
they they come out I think a month apart.
yeah,
I
I
don't know
think
which one comes out first. Yeah,
this come out first. This one come out in December. I think that one comes out. Wait, I don't know. You're right. I don't know. Because
yeah,
I thought it
and
came out in January, but that might be wrong. So,
and
um,
another thing is that the how to put it, I don't think it looks bad. But a lot of
hmm
people haven't been impressed with the Dead Space remake just because like they've been showing smaller updates. Like
yeah,
this is compared to the old game, and it doesn't look that much better than the old game.
yeah,
Just graphically, it looks a little bit better. Whereas it has that new factor to it, and it
yeah,
also seems like you said, impactful and it's hitting hard, like you remember the old Dead Space did. So
yeah,
it might be in the favor of Callisto Protocol. Obviously, we don't know because it's still like a good time away. But yeah, it was looking really good. The only thing is I'll say is that I wish that I know they couldn't do it, but I do miss the plasma cutter. Like he
Oh
was
my
using a
god,
normal
yeah,
pistol.
yeah,
Like it seems like a good pistol, but it's not the plasma cutter. Hopefully, they have like some crazy weapons like in the game
yeah.
that you get. But so far, it looks
It,
good.
it has that survival aspect to it too. So I'm assuming he gonna be moving around with some crazy stuff more than just a pistol. I don't know if they just didn't want to show it yet or what,
Yeah.
but because it might be like surprising stuff or something like that. But I'm pretty sure the way they would them the way the enemies were moving and stuff like that, it kind of made me feel as if yeah, you're gonna be cutting off some limbs, player. I said, oh
Mhm.
boy, I can't wait. So yeah, I really thought it was really cool. I thought it was probably the sleeper one of the event because I was like, people were talking about it, but they were, obviously excited for Final Fantasy and all those other ones. This is the one that I'm like, um, it got my heart, man. It got it
Yeah.
because I was like, so forward looking to like something new, but also refreshing and it's similar. Similar but refreshing at the same time. I know Final
Mhm.
Fantasy. I mean, and I know Resident Evil is going to give that too. So it's gonna be some. It's gonna be a really nice lineup because I think
Mhm.
this comes out December. I just
Mhm.
looked it up. Dead Space Remake comes out in January, and then I forget when Remake comes out. I think it's March, something like
March
that.
24th.
Yeah, March 24th. So I'm gonna have my hands full because I'm definitely gonna play these. I'm gonna put it on the calendar to make sure I play each and every last one of them. So yeah, I just hope it don't disappoint. It looks really good though, and it look they took their time and really made a good game. So
Mhm.
that is my thoughts. It is still, you know, coming to the PS4 and PS5. I said, ugh. I said, don't do that. I said, nah, man, y'all gotta don't even entertain them scoundrels on the PS4. Nah, just playing. But yeah, I can't wait. I can't wait to play it and see how really it is. Um how really and like how good it is, because you got outside world, exploration, then you got the inside and everything. So it got best
Mm.
of both worlds again. Um and that whole zero gravity, all that stuff was so cool for original Dead Space and stuff. So hopefully it hits it out the park again.
Yeah.
Um, I think the next thing was the what was the next thing that popped up? I forget now. It was Seasons, a letter of the to the future.
That was the bike game, right?
Yeah, Buddy was on a whole bike. I don't. I didn't really have much to say on it. I mean, it seems like it has a cool art style. At least that's probably the one of the things that I really enjoyed about it was like the art style. But yeah, I really didn't get a sense of what the game was about or what you're planning on doing in it from the
Hmm.
trailer. Maybe I wasn't paying attention enough, but uh, it looks like he's gonna just be recording the world around him and
Hmm.
doing certain things like it's probably gonna be one of those journey type games where he's kind of like the world is more appeasing than the actual storyline and you're just having a good time with the journey. So
Hmm.
if you're into that kind of stuff, you got another one coming out called Season, a letter to the future. So
Yeah.
if you're interested, be on the lookout for that. Lastly, they talked about Tunic and they talked about Eternites. Eternites had me dying, bro. And I was mad because I was like, bro, this look a little interesting. But then they said dating sim, and I said, all right. I was
Yeah,
like,
yeah. That's for
as
y'all
soon as I
persona
knew
lovers.
it, I was like, bro, this why does this game look like they care more about the relationships than anything? And then they say it's a dating sim. I was like, ah. So no thank you. But it didn't seem terrible, I guess. I thought it was gonna be more about him and everything, and I was trying to figure out what is going on with his arm, and I was gonna like seeing the stuff. But then when they started kissing, I was like, I really laughed out loud. I said, "Bro, what is they doing? Why they try to get they try to get the waifu crowd or something, yo?" Yeah, but once they said it was a date, so I kind of lost all interest. But it's not nothing's wrong with dating sims. I'm not saying that. I'm saying that I'm not interested, so I'm not gonna play
Yeah.
it. Yeah,
I think its strongest point is that they're actually trying to combine it with some
yeah.
interesting action. Whereas like a lot of dating sims don't have interesting gameplay. Like the
Hmm.
best one is like Persona, where you can date people, but it's like as an RPG and like I guess
And that's like
an
a really
interesting
small
story.
part, man. It's not like if to me Persona, it doesn't feel like it's a dating. It doesn't feel like I'm out trying to figure out who I want to date. It's more about the storyline, and then you just getting into these weird interactions, and then you just pick one at the end. It doesn't really matter though. It doesn't change the story. I think
Hmm.
this would literally change when they say dating sim. To me, it sounds like that is the emphasis of the game, and this other stuff is extra. Persona,
Hmm.
I feel like Persona is like it puts more of the forefront of the gameplay in the story than anything outside of dating sim. I don't know. Maybe I'm just thinking of dating sims wrong. I haven't played a dating sim. I just know what they kind of are trying to get out of you when you're
Yeah,
playing them.
I think uh, I think Persona is still very similar, but it's not the main focus because it's also like you don't have to date everybody. Like they're kind of like your friends, and the
Yeah.
friendship like builds your RPG stuff. Whereas like more dating sims, there's still friendships, but it's more focused on the actual dating part. Whereas like Persona, you don't have to date anybody.
No.
Even though there's the aspect of it where like, oh, you're flirting with the teacher and blah blah blah. And so it has those elements, but yeah, it's not its main focus.
You know
So
what?
this game,
Catherine. I think Catherine would be a dating sim, but
yeah, yeah, yeah. I'd say that's more dating sim, even though it's like only two
yeah,
people. But yeah, uh-huh.
that's like the focus. I love that game still, and I love the combat, the gameplay more than anything. Like I was just getting through the story, and then but it wasn't. I knew going in. The plot of it was, who am I going to pick and choose, and what am I going to do to kind of get through this crazy thing, and that's what I considered like a dating sim. I still enjoyed it, but I'm not seeking those games out. Nah, it's not
Yeah.
happening. It's like I would. It really has to be unique in that way for me to be like, I play it. But no, it's not like an interest of mine. But to each his own. If you enjoy those types of games, there's nothing wrong with playing them. But that's just not for me. But yeah, that's pretty much it. That wraps it up for the state of play, and that's where I kind of felt like well, we talked about this for a while, but and that's why I felt like Capcom saved the day. Because if you take out Street Fighter and Resident Evil 4, um, yeah, it's like yeah, you're really not having a good time, buddy. Final Fantasy 16, we already knew that was gonna be exclusive. It already looked good when they first showed it. What are we excited about? Stray?
Hmm.
No. So that's why I felt like those two heavy hitters right there truly saved their day. And that's why I was kind of putting on the emphasis of Capcom really came through for y'all. So, but yeah, it still was a good showing. I wasn't expecting much. I'm glad I came out with with having a good time versus not. I really wish they would have kind of ended it up with some of their exclusives, but that's kind of what they mentioned that they weren't gonna do. But nobody cares what you mentioned. When they gonna understand that, Josh? Nobody cares what you set the present. Like if you set in you set in this expectation, nobody cares. They still gonna say like these mugs suck. And that's how I feel about State of Plays. I don't go in with expectations no more because I always think they're gonna suck. Um,
Yeah.
so
And a lot of times
that's
it's
what y'all
like
made it into now. So
they still want you to watch it, but they're trying to be like, we have some cool stuff, and it's they're like, well, it
yeah,
has to be something to justify this whole event, and normally it's not. It's just
yeah,
we wanted to show some stuff.
yeah, and that's what kind of makes it's like setting people up to be disappointed, and that it really is not a good look when it comes to it because I associate State of Plays now with just Nintendo Directs, and Nintendo Directs be okay sometimes for some reason I don't know why, but Nintendo does it better. And even though it's kind of similar in that way, for some reason to me Nintendo does it better. Maybe because they kind of they say what they're gonna do, and they kind of like
Yeah,
I don't
but they
know.
also always show a first party Nintendo game, and like Sony
Right,
doesn't
right, right,
always
right, right,
show
right, right, right,
a
right.
first party game.
Yeah, the state
And
of
that's really
play.
what people are waiting for, even if it's like, oh, here's a God of War trailer.
Yeah.
Well, we've been waiting for that for what, 2 years? So,
Mm-hmm.
but they don't really do that.
You're right. I think because they always show some type of first party, even though you're not interested in it, they may have like a lot of depth to what they're talking about in that one first party game. So even if you go through a bunch of fiddle at the beginning, that one first party game that you was looking forward to seeing is gonna be there. So that's probably is a difference. You're right. Now that I think about it a little bit more. But yeah, they just need to get better at like exciting people at the end. You shouldn't be ending it with. I forget what they ended it with. I don't even remember.
It was Final Fantasy at the end.
Oh, okay. Yeah, you need to end it with something on your own. To be honest, but it's okay. I enjoyed it enough to not not feel bad that I was wasting my time or something.
Hmm.
So, uh, next, what I want to talk about because We at the hour and 14 mark. I wanted to talk about Xbox and
Xbox.
what we expect Xbox to show. Xbox Bethesda, um, and whether or not they can beat what Sony just did. Um, yeah. What are we thinking, Josh? I know what I'm thinking, but
Um,
what you thinking?
so I don't know what they're gonna show, but I will say they need to like really come out with their strongest right now because I I'm happy with my Xbox. I think it's like a really good system.
Hmm.
But for their perception, like they seem to be playing the long game and it's not working because it seems like oh you're playing your cards close to your chest because you don't have anything
Hmm.
and like you bought all these companies but what have they been doing like Bethesda? I'm not expecting anything big from them. Personally, I don't care about Bethesda first party games.
Yeah.
Like Deathloop and all that their stuff is still under Bethesda, but those are their other studios that seem more creative. But
Yep.
they need to at least show something like whether it's like Prey 2 or Doom 3 or like oh we have id Software but it's a brand new IP like it really push that talent that you have to
Hmm.
show that they're worth it because there are really good studios like id Software is really good but if you're not using them then there's no point of having them on the roster uh
Yeah, especially
and
not
it's
when you
been
forcing them to make games like Rage 2. Ew.
yeah and it's been 2 years since they bought Bethesda, and
Yeah,
like even if Starfield's not ready, like y'all need to have
something.
something to show for that time.
I mean, it's looking real light, bro. It's looking like real light work, and I'm like, y'all have had time now, honestly.
Yeah.
And this Bethesda is a company that needs to put out something each year to continue to make money. And yeah, they put out Deathloop, but they usually have like 4 games. I don't know if I can't recall games that came out that were like big from them. And even though like I said, I don't care for Bethesda. I just know that they need to have more of a. Well, I guess Ghostwire Tokyo, but Tango
Uh,
GameWorks.
Even still, like I think Deathloop people liked it, but some of the other games all are okay, but they fly under
Yeah,
the radar, or they're like Dishonored, which are really good, but not necessarily like
shoes success
the
stories.
top yeah most successful
Yeah,
games. And whereas like Sony, even if they don't have anything, they like, oh, here's the Demon Souls remake. It's an old game, but
yeah,
it's a game that people love, and we made it look pretty, and it probably didn't take that long to make. Or at least we finished it in 2 3 years.
right.
Um, Whereas like Microsoft, like Elder Scrolls 6 and Starfield, they're not ready yet. So can y'all update this IP that we have that people like? And I don't know if they have anything to do that.
Yeah.
Like Fable, but I doubt it.
Nah,
Um,
man, they don't got nothing, bro. I'm trying to find something that's like big and like they already did. They already threw a Forza Horizon card out there. They already threw they
so it's got to be new IPs
games
that look interesting that's coming out soon, and
soon. I'm talking about like December soon. I'm talking
really
about
this year, yeah,
yeah, November soon. Like it has to be something that people can sink their teeth in while PlayStation has left the door open. Like they need to do something to really wow people. Yeah, and yeah, I think it's just a lot of I don't know. Um, uh, so my expectations are high. I guess I really want them to really come out swinging with some good games. I don't think they. I mean, that Contraband game, the new like, and then that Indiana Jones game. Um, I think that's not the Contraband game, is it? Then they don't they have an actual Indiana Jones game coming out or announced?
Uh, I don't know. It might be, but I don't remember.
I hope it wasn't that Contraband game. Indiana Jones game. Uh, yeah, coming from Bethesda.
Oh,
Yeah,
really? Okay.
yeah, it's coming from Bethesda, and it was like a teaser trailer for it. Then that other game, Contraband, came out, and I was like, "What the heck is Contraband?" Um, and that's that game that came out. It was like it was announced with something from it was something from Microsoft. It was another game called
Yeah,
Contraband.
I think it was one of their new studios working on Contraband, or like
Yeah,
their in-house studios.
yeah, Just Cause Studio. The Just
Okay.
Cause studio did this one. Um, yeah, I mean we'll see. I just know right now you can't just throw games in Game Pass and think you're gonna get the win. You got to come with the games, man. You
Yeah,
got
and I
to
feel like
come.
also their strategy is like Microsoft, I mean, Sony is putting up, A+ games, but they got one or two of those a year. But if we come out with 10 B- games, people will like be happy with that. And I think that's like what
No,
they did last gen, and that's not gonna be enough.
no, it's not. You got to come out with them slappers. And I don't know how they're gonna do it, but Hellblade ain't enough. I can tell you, it's too niche. You got to come out with something. They needed a freaking Wolverine. That's what they needed. They needed to have that Wolverine game that sitting over there with Insomniac.
Mhm.
Like, I can't believe they said no. I saw something where they said they don't want to make any Marvel games. They
Really?
approached Xbox to make Marvel games. They said they don't want to make them, and I said,
Mhm.
"What? Are you crazy? What's your problem? Why don't you want to make a Marvel game?" And
Yeah.
I guess they, I don't know if it was like restrictions on how they can create them. It don't look like they have any restrictions over there on the Insomniac
Yeah,
side.
Insomniac going crazy.
They going crazy. I'm like, I don't see they got no restrictions. Play. I don't know what would cause them to not want to do it unless they just didn't have the studio in at the time to kind of create that. But y'all knew y'all was finna buy a bunch, so yeah, they obviously that wasn't a. Oh, let's think about it 3 months before we buy a big old studio. Obviously, they knew they were gonna have that stuff in their back pocket. Activision out there, like, come on. But I don't know. It just seemed weird that and maybe we just being crazy. Maybe on June 12th, was it June 12th? They come out with a bunch of cool stuff. I just don't think that's gonna happen.
I mean,
And
I hope so. It's just that the problem is that they've gotten a lot of goodwill because of their infrastructure has been really
yeah,
good.
infrastructure. Yeah,
But it's been a long time. So,
yeah,
it's been more than a year, almost two, that the system's been out.
yeah.
And Halo Infinite was okay, but it's not enough to say like, yeah, this is our next gen presence. Whereas like Sony has already proven that, and now they're on to their
It's
next step, which is like we had Horizon. Now here's God of War. Here's part two of
yeah.
our, uh,
Especially when they
what
just came
PlayStation
out
is.
with Forbidden West. Especially when they just came out with that Forbidden West, they coming out with like heavy hitters that are really good. I mean, obviously, the heavy hitters on Xbox side are Forza, which was really good. Halo Infinite was okay, and that's what they kind of competed with that. So that's supposed to be a wash, but in reality, those games are still getting more praise than any of your Halo. Halo can't get the praise right now because we have this very slow cycle of games, stuff that's coming out for it, and it's really hard to continue to keep that engagement when you only got two new maps and a few more modes. You really had to have that packaged well.
Yeah,
Um,
like I said, Sony is coming with the A+ games, and Microsoft, if you're not putting out an A+ game, it's a loss that round.
Yeah, it's a
So
loss. It's an L.
even if the game is really good, it's not in the same league. So
And I don't want them to necessarily compete, but what I want them to do is understand why they are doing well. Like I don't care that they to like have them match Sony, but I need a game from you guys that really I can portray as that solid all around buy for your console, and I don't have that. That means that you're not putting in the quality that you can to make a good game for me. And that makes me
mhm,
as a consumer feel like, well, why am I supporting a company that doesn't truly put in the effort?
mhm.
So I guess it's not more of a competing aspect, but it's that I know my worth. I know my pockets. I know this money is worth something, and I can easily not leave be in this ecosystem because you guys aren't really creating games that are truly good enough for me um, to really champion their console as a great console. So I guess what I'm trying to say is that they need to kick it into high gear during this presentation, and they really need to show off some truly phenomenal gameplay. And it's been real quiet on the end, which scares me a little because I think it's gonna be a 30-minute showcase of indies, and then 30 minutes of their games, and probably focus on two, Starfield and something else, and then it's gonna be 30 minutes of Bethesda, and yeah, it's gonna fly by. It's gonna feel like you ain't seen nothing. But you're gonna have a
Yeah.
bunch of games that's coming through. It's gonna say coming to Game Pass, coming to Game Pass, coming to Game Pass. I'm like, great. These are all
And
games I'm not gonna put my time into. You know why? Because there's other games out there that's better. So that's just the simple fact of it.
yeah. And I don't necessarily want them to like compete or copy Sony one to one
Hmm.
because even a lot of Sony games that are really good are not necessarily for me.
Exactly.
But I feel like Microsoft is kind of stagnant and it's not good for them. Because like even if this was a race, like Sony has already done one lap and they're all off in their second lap, and Microsoft has not got
Even
started on the
started,
first lap.
yeah, yeah. It's like,
And I want them both to reach the finish line at the end of the console generation. They both got
mm-hmm.
a long list of amazing games that people are gonna remember and want more of. And Microsoft hasn't gotten there yet. So
Yeah, I hope they're gearing up for the run of the century. That's all I say. I feel like they can do that. Like they can literally have a year of monthly releases that could be god tier, and if they wanted to, it could be like 2023 go crazy, and it could if they handled all their IPs properly. But at the end of the day, I feel like Microsoft bought a bunch of companies, but don't know how to run a gaming company. So, it could be where they sitting on a lot of stuff, and they're allowed a lot of deadlines to go missed because they don't really want to pressure anyone and make people feel like they have to get something done, which is fine because I agree with the work home balance, work life balance. Sorry. Um, but I don't know what's going on that would cause them not to be able to showcase anything. And now this 90 minutes coming up, and we could possibly just be really just very much so just in the dark on what they're doing. And there might be some games that are going to be announced in truly epic fashion and, coming really soon. And they just didn't want to, that type of stuff. So we'll see though. Um, Obviously there's big hitters, Starfield, Redfall. They might have something for Gears. They might have something for Fable. Um, those are pretty much those big large ones. Avowed. I forget the other one. Perfect Dark. I'm trying to think. Starfield, Redfall, Fable, Perfect Dark. I don't know if they're gonna do a Banjo Kazooie game. Who cares about Banjo Kazooie? But I guess a lot of people care about Banjo. I just don't care about Banjo Kazooie. But yeah, man, I just think they have to nail it and nail it well. So I really enjoy my Xbox. I play a lot of third parties on it because I just think that's the better system to play any third parties on. Especially when it comes to game preservation, I just don't trust Sony at the plus moment. Um, so, I mean, they're getting the ticket money that right now. So I just need that console to not only be a good third party publisher machine. I need that to be a first party publisher machine, and that's all I'm looking for. Um, so that way I can say this is why you play Xbox. If you want one, these are the games I would recommend. I mean, I'm recommending Elden Ring. I'm recommending. Oh, it's cool because you could pay it's $2.99 and you could play Elden Ring and it's cool like that. You can play the Series S. I'm giving them ecosystem benefits versus true game benefits. Like nobody coming there if you're not a real racer game like into the racing games. That's like literally their biggest go to for me. It's like you gotta play Forza. And Horizon, you can play Forza. You like them car games, player? You like them car games? You can play Forza. But if I go to the PlayStation, I'm talking about we talking Ratchet and Clank, we talking Horizon, we talking you know they did the Ghost of Tsushima update where you got new stuff coming in there. Um you got your God of War coming, and I think it was another game that I was really playing. Like you got Returnal, you got games to truly play, you know? So um, so yeah, I just need them to have that too. That I can start shooting out a lineup. Not saying that there's bad games. Halo Infinite and Forza are really good games in that aspect of, but you can play that on the PC and yeah. So something there that's going to really make that game. And I don't think they even matters that it's on PC. I just think that there's something that has to be there to truly continue that conversation that Xbox has good games as well. But yeah, um, it's funny though because it's not that I care who wins, but I do feel that Microsoft cares more about my money. And how I have to. They care more about ease of use, like
Yeah.
simplifying everything. Like
They they care about, like you said, the how long your dollar goes or
yeah,
the value
it
that
makes you want to
you're
root
getting.
for them basically.
And
But
it's not even just in the short term. It's like,
yeah,
oh,
long
those
term.
games you bought last generation or two generations ago, you don't got to buy them again. Whereas
Yeah,
Sony, they trying to get you again. Oh, you bought Ratchet and Clank last gen. Well,
yeah,
uh, we want that money again. So
yeah,
uh,
man.
that's not good. For from a consumer standpoint, and it's not like obviously there's still companies that gotta make their money at the end of the day, but
Hmm.
like companies like Valve and Microsoft are showing like there is a good balance of having a long like term ecosystem that treats you well and people will value that, and like
Oh
Valve
yeah,
is successful because of that, and hopefully Microsoft can get there too. um and
yeah.
I think that is overall good for everybody.
Yeah, I don't care how many free games Epic give me, bro. I'd be like, Steam just better, bro. I'm just sorry. I'm like, I don't care how many free games y'all give me. I like y'all free games, but I just feel like there's something else behind y'all. That's not
Yeah.
real. I feel like y'all can't afford to be giving. Y'all got blood money in this, man. Y'all can't be afford to be giving all these free games like this. Where is it coming from? I'm like, no, y'all take it from little kids to build their Fortnite skin library. I don't want it. I don't want to be a part of I don't want to be a part of that ecosystem. So I prefer Steam, and I still be waiting for games that I want to play for Steam. I'd be like, nah. I like on my Steam Deck now. There's certain games that I was like, bro, I bought it and then I canceled. I said I'll just wait for it to come to Steam. I don't want to
Yeah.
pay. I want to buy something from them and not have the support nor where that money is going. I just don't like that. So there is some loyalty to be had when it comes to just treating people right. So um, that's probably why I root for Microsoft, even though I don't care to the degree of, oh, this is my favorite team. I gotta go green, my whole room green, all that crap. No, it's not that crazy. I'm just saying because they treat me right, I would like them to see succeed as well. PlayStation gonna succeed regardless in some cases because of just how well they kind of have created the uncharted algorithm for their games. I would call it. That's what I'm gonna have to call it that. That's what it is. Like as soon as
The
4 came
algorithm.
out, that's where
Yeah.
everything else kind of started to swing that route, and it hasn't changed a lot. Not saying that it sucks. I'm just saying that that's what it feels like. And then there's like sprinkles of some uniqueness in there, but most of the time it's that algorithm. Um, but yeah, regardless of which console I want to play more of, I still want to see both succeed in different areas. I would like to see Sony succeed when it comes to their consumer relationship, and I want to see Microsoft succeed when it comes to their gaming. So yeah, overall, I'm happy and excited for the future for these gaming consoles. Last thing I want to talk about before we go, because I want to talk about two things, but I'm just gonna not talk about Diablo. It's not the greatest experience, so who cares? So let's talk about that Multiversus. Multiversus, if you aren't aware, it's a free to play beat 'em up, not beat 'em up, but kind of stage battle royale like Smash Bros. It has a lot of uniqueness to it, has a lot of characters, and what I kind of enjoy, what kind of made me, feel like it could actually do something or go somewhere is the animations and the characters. That's it. Animations and characters. As long as they have that down packed, I feel like there's a lot of other things that they have to get right, like combat systems. What's that meteor smashing?
Mhm.
All the stuff that these technical crazed people really enjoy. They need to have that down pat. But there's those two things: characters and animations. And then lastly, is that this game is cross platform
Yeah.
and free. I forgot to mention that. It's free and cross platform. That puts it in that realm of Fortnite and Apex, where it can build an audience in a different way than Smash Bros. Or even Nickelodeon All Stars ever could. So it's in beta right now, right? It's not actually out, correct?
No, but it comes out soon, like
Yeah.
July, I think.
I think the open beta starts in July. I'm looking at the site.
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah, I think
open
they said
beta.
open beta, and then just like a couple weeks later, the open beta will lead into the actual release.
Gotcha. Okay. So yeah. Um I haven't seen much of the gameplay. I have seen a lot of breakdown videos. But like character wise, you got the Iron Giant, Tasmanian Devil, you got Velma from Scooby Doo, you got Arya Stark, you got Batman, Bugs Bunny, Finn the Human, Garnet, Harley Quinn, Jake the Dog, Rendar, Shaggy, Steven Universe, Superman, Tom and Jerry, Wonder Woman, and more revealed. So heavy hitters, obviously I don't care what nobody say. Tasmanian Devil is a heavy hitter for me. Arya Stark, Batman, Harley Quinn, Superman, Tom and Jerry, Shaggy. They haven't got Scooby yet, which is ridiculous to me. But
No, but they got Super Saiyan Shaggy.
Super Saiyan Shaggy, Super Saiyan Sheen. And what they do with yeah, what they are doing with like at least even giving you a lot of description of the characters and where they're from, and uh it's just so cool that they are putting that emphasis behind just not only having the characters, but creating that sense of respect for said character as well in their universe. Um, I don't know how well the game will play out, but from just presentation wise, what they're doing, even looking at their site, going over the game overview, it seems as if they're taking their time and they want this to really succeed in a good way, which it could.
Yeah,
I don't see why it wouldn't. It's 2v2 combat in some modes, and there's 1v1, and there's a 4-player free for all, and then there's ranked competitive and stuff like that. But the cool thing and what kind of sets it apart, at least from what I was seeing, is that the 2v2 stuff. The 2v2
mhm,
stuff, you're really working with your team, and you have a lot of synergy with your teammate outside of being able to be good at the game. There's certain things that kind of they play off of each other.
yeah, you can buff each other
Yeah.
or different things, and so if you got Shaggy and I got Superman, they
Mhm.
could be a good team together, just from their move sets, and that's gonna improve like the longevity and competitiveness of the game.
Especially the death and people being able to kind of create their characters how they want them to be, and well, not even create, but like really start to explore the game in a different way. Like, yes, Smash is very intricate, and they pretend like it's not, but it truly is. But this company in this game, they're already going to put that at the forefront. They're not going to ignore it. They're not going to
Mhm.
ignore that that aspect of your game, the competitive side of it. They're going to actually make that the forefront of it. So I just know from those few things that this could be a really good hit. And that's where the question came up. And if you have more details, you can always share them and then talk. But I wanted to kind of discuss the potential for any, not even this one, any battle royale to truly not. I wouldn't call it battle royale, but stage fighter, um, to truly have to displace Smash as that top game. Do you think
Yeah.
that would ever come, and would it have to be free to play?
I'd say, yes and no. I'd
Mm-hmm.
say that it can any game beat Smash, any game of this type beat Smash off clout alone, like just its name and characters? Probably not. I think
Mm,
this is has the closest chance, but even still, like Nintendo characters are solidified for their own things, and like Superman and Batman are great. And even though I might like, Shaggy or Finn the dog a lot, I would not put Shaggy equally as like Cloud or something like
Zelda
that.
or
Yeah, and
anybody?
stuff like
Yeah.
that. However, I don't think it has to necessarily beat Smash in that way because it can beat Smash in every other way. Because like everybody knows, Nintendo has a bad online infrastructure, and this game off the jump is coming in crossplay. It has good net code. It has all these good things going for it, online wise. So at least like, oh, if I want to play a game with Deontay and Jalen, we want to play a fighting game, we can just pick up this and play it. And that alone is going to get our more of our time on this than Smash would. Uh,
Yep.
Smash might still be the best platform fighter. It might be the more competitive game, and at the end of the day, it might people might like it more. But
Mm-hmm.
this game is gonna occupy the space that Smash can't, and I think that is worthwhile. Because I've seen a lot of people talking about this game, and they're like, it's not necessarily competing with Smash, but it is going for the Fortnite model where it is going to dominate. If it takes off, it is going to dominate this space, and people are going to come back to it every month for new stuff. Whereas like most people are not going to be coming back to Smash other than just like hardcore
Competitive
fans.
locally. Yeah.
Yeah. And then obviously if they come out with a new Smash later, it's going to blow up the internet again, but this game will be successful because it's not, how to put it. a lot of games like this that fail is just because like they're trying to exactly copy Smash, whereas this they're going for more like a online type thing that's gonna
Hmm.
get people coming back.
Yeah, I think them simplifying it to that 2v2 teamwork together is going to allow people to join in with friends and really start to engage that. Oh, not it's not just about 1v1s. It's about, you know, can let's see if you can get better, and like that word of mouth. And then you know how Apex Legends was like, obviously there's a
Yeah.
reason why they did three 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 team squads, and they want you to they want you to bring your friends into the game, and they want you to actually play, um and they want you to kind of get that synergy going where not only are you bringing in friends, but then they're playing with their friends, and then that stuff kind of continues to roll upon itself, and it kind of at the end of the day you look back as a larger thing. So I understand the play for 2v2. I understand the play for 4v
Oh
all.
yeah, and it's free. Like you
Right.
mentioned that, but like that's gonna be a big thing because there's no reason not to play it, especially like
Exactly.
in a couple months. Oh, we got Darth Vader and
Yeah.
Wolverine, and like just pick it up and play it, and new players can keep coming in and trying it. Just like
Yeah.
Fortnite, even though like we don't like Fortnite always has a headline because they got something new in coming to the game.
I wonder if they'll do that whole Apex Legends vibe where you can definitely get the game. You can get the players for free if you just play the
Hmm.
game. So, um,
Yeah, I don't that
Apex Legends, I
I
have
don't
never
know.
bought a character, so I was
Yeah,
like, I would assume that they would do the same, but you never know.
I think if the characters are not free, they for sure said you'll buy costumes, so maybe the
Hmm.
characters are free.
Gotcha. And I don't want them to be copy and paste. And it seems like what they're doing are they're pulling them out and they're giving them their very own class, like in Apex, like healers, attackers, defensive, all that. They're actually doing that within the game too. So you got your attackers, you got your healers, you got your I don't know what these all their symbols mean, but okay, so they got assassin, a bruiser, tanks, and they have support. So there's that too. So there's like that added depth that really can allow the game to flourish, bro. That's all I really care about. It's like making sure that they actually um, do the right things to kind of make the game really work. So
Hmm.
they look like they're doing that. I might sign up for the beta. I might not because I'd rather just wait for it to come out. I don't know if I'm interested enough to try to jump in now, but I know it piqued my interest for two reasons. It's free, and the fact that it looked like the animations and all of that stuff was polished. So obviously these companies want that Fortnite money. If they put the time in and they actually do it right, they can have it. Ain't gonna be from me, but
Hmm.
somebody will buy their costumes. Somebody will buy that stuff. I mean, Apex already got my money. I never thought I'd be spending money on the skins, but they got it. So it's all about just having a really solid game and really wanting to play something continuously. And as long as you can do that, then you really don't need to worry about much else. So yeah, I'm looking forward to it. I think it's gonna be cool. Any final words before we get up out of here, Josh? Anything you want to mention or say?
Um, no, I'm good on multiverses, and like you said, we'll be back soon. Talk about the Microsoft stuff. Hopefully,
Yes,
it's
yes, sir, yes, sir.
good. I might I don't know. I'll try to tune in live and see, but we'll see.
Yeah, it's usually hard to kind of set that up, but it's gonna be on a Sunday, so I'm gonna be like, I'm gonna have that time set aside because it's Sunday. But if it was like on a Monday or something like that, I probably wouldn't. But Sunday, I should be good.
Hmm.
But all right, thanks you guys for listening. If you got to this point, you're a real OG. I appreciate you for as always. If you want to check out the video version, you can find that on YouTube at BCD Universe, BCD Universe, and you can always find it through any podcast platform you want to join to listen to the House of Wolves podcast. Well, that is me and Josh signing off. Again, thank you for listening, and we'll talk to you guys soon. Peace.